Welcome to the Ohio State Beekeepers Education Training Series.
I want to welcome everybody to tonight to the information technology. And it's just to help you guys at the club level, if there's a Master Gardeners or any other organization, help you understand a lot of the things that go on in the background that as you step up like Kathleen to being the president and you need to run and do outreach, or Roger doing communications, it's just little tips and tricks to learning how to run, reach out, and keep everybody in the knowledge. Let's go over the lineup tonight. And this class was asked for about 4 different people, and then we'll turn around and send out the recording. Like always, we record it, we'll send it out, and Roger will post it on the videos on the OSBA website. Tonight, we're going to talk about understanding the technology, creating the PDF document. So it's an overall, it's one of those universal things and all those different ways of creating that document. Creating and using hyperlinks. So if you don't want to have to put in attachments to emails, you can turn around and put hyperlinks, and I'll show you how to create those or where to get them from. And then the social media, how to promote yourself, how to promote your club, how to promote events going on, and we'll go down through all that. We're just going to cover Facebook. Instagram is pretty well simple. You're just going to put that into a description, but you can tie in hyperlinks to that. So starting off with the devices. As you know, everybody has laptops and iPads and everything else in between. They all see things differently on the web. You have Android, you have Apple, you have PCs, or iPads and things like that. Everything will look at the internet differently, softwares differently, plugins compared to software that you used to get on a 3.5-inch floppy and then on a CD. Those are all gone. Now everything's a download. Plugins are just about the most common right now, or buying software from a company. So when you get those types of things, you can manipulate and change things around, and it's a never ongoing battle. I, back in the day, used to learn on a 17-inch it's like a 3.5-inch floppy with a 17-inch. And as the internet keeps going, if you're not up with it, you're falling behind it. There's just no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So learning the devices that you're on, and then I'm going to give you some of the basics to be able to communicate with other devices, no matter the size of it. It's a PC with tons of screens, one screen, an iPad, or a telephone, and a smart device. The software, same way. You have Windows, you have Windows 10, you have Windows 11 getting ready to launch, in Windows 10 is just in its infancy. You have everything on phones and Android and Apples and things like that. Learning your software, I asked, if you really want to understand things, find a class or a YouTube channel that you really like somebody's voice. They really go through the basics of it. There's a lot of colleges and different places that'll teach you different stuff, that'll walk you through the basics of how to turn on the device and work with the device. And other things, nowadays, click around and turn things on, turn things off, and learn how to do it, and then try to find other things that like this. The formats. And I want to go over the software and formats at the same point. That's kind of the same, but when we get into software, now we're getting into like CorelDRAW. We're getting into Google. So let me pop up Google up here. Shrink that one. I have the Google Suites now that almost everybody has a Gmail account, and now I can create a Word document. I can create a document. I can create a PowerPoint. I can do a PowerPoint. We call it PowerPoint in Windows format. They call it slides. Doc is the same thing as Word. So learning some of this shareware and sheets is the same thing as Excel. So learning them on different formats is the same thing as kind of software, but it's learning where to do it. And I'll give you some free versions if you don't even have this. Creating a document. PDFs, along the same line as everything on the internet, PDFs are just about the same. They're not going anywhere. and it's about the same format that you can open on every device that does not change the format of the document. So I'm going to create one real quick. This is my club for Black Swamp Beekeepers. I use Corel just because of the fact I used Corel when version 1 came out, and they're on version 25 or 24 right now. So when you're used to the format, get used to the software, or say, okay, ask someone like myself or somebody and say, hey, here's what I want to do. What is the best software to learn to do that? Not everybody has the money for Corel, so you can do it in Word, or there's other free free software or plugins to be able to do that. So if I want to build this page and I want it to look the absolute same across all these devices, all these software, and all these different PCs, iPads, and everything else, PDF is just about a golden solid state that when you send it, it's going to convert things a little bit, but it's going to convert it into layers. It's going to take your photos like your bitmap and your JPEGs and your BMPs and TIFFs, and that's going to create different layers, and it's going to take that font, turn it into a quote like a gibberish, and it's going to say, okay, this is the font style this person used. This is the artwork. Here's all the shortcuts. Crunch it down into this little tiny document. The next person that opens it's going to see the same exact thing. It's not like some documents where you turn on and programmed it, you put it on the internet, and then the person opens it up and it's completely different, or it changed it around. Same way with PowerPoint. PowerPoint, as a speaker, I can go in and take my jump drive with my PowerPoint on it, plug it into a different device, which they have a different device, a different software, a different format, and then it's going to take my PowerPoint and change everything around on it to where I can't even use it as a presenter. So a lot of presenters will take that format, put it into a PDF, and then put that device on their device when they go. So let's just talk about PDFs. So every document, and we're just going to change one at a time. So in this document, every really good software has a PDF. So I'm going to publish the PDF. Tonight, we're going to put everything on the desktop, and we're going to do a comparison. So I just want to call this test number 1. In different software, they have different renditions of what you're going to undo. So some of it is called pre-press. Pre-press is this document's going to go huge and gigantic. It's going to be 1200 by 1200, at least DPI. It's for kind of publishing in a newsletter or a newspaper or a magazine and things like that. I can shrink that down automatically just by opting in and saying the web. Now it's going to shrink that 1200 DPI document, shrink it down to about a 72 or a 150. So now it's not going to be a gigantic document that maybe a cell phone or maybe a smart device is going to have a hard problem with. A web's instantly going to pop right up and it's going to be ready to go. A document distribution is that middle line, about 300 to 600. That's what I like to send out. So any device in the world can pop this up. It's going to be the same exact thing. So out of all my members, they're going to see that same document. And then there's other ones, archiving, CMYK, that's color, RBG. Then now you're trying to get specific. And then current proof setting is if you're sending proofs in for like a billboard and gigantic stuff like that. So I like document distribution. I'm going to tell it to go to the desktop. I already have testing 1 and save. Now it's going to take everything on here, and this isn't Corel, it's like layers. So the last layer I built was the base or the background. Every layer above that, all the way up so it looks nice. I can change layers up and down and edit this any way I want. It's going to compress everything. And now it's going to take it into test 1. So as I double click on test 1, it's going to put it into my PDF. It's going to prepare the document. So it's going to unleash all that language. And now that you see that document is the same exact way that I built it. The color might change a little bit depending if it was a smart device like a cell phone that took the picture compared to a large format or digital camera. So colors might shift a little bit, but with the way I built this, the way the font was, It does not correct spelling or anything. And it also keeps hyperlinks that we're going to talk about tonight. So if I want to send somebody to a hyperlink, I can actually set this up. They click on it and it takes them directly to another Facebook group. I can have them go to a chair lady's email, open up an email, and it instantly goes to it. So we'll go back and we'll do this with Word document. We'll start a new document here. And new. So Word is the same thing. It's a paid for through Windows. I can do the same thing through Google, and I'll show you that also. And you can also get there. There's a free thing called Open Office, and I'll show you the link for that in a little bit. So here's my brand new, I can do this through Google, and it's called Sheets. I can do my newsletter here. So if you're very familiar with this, I can create this newsletter. I can insert a picture. So let's just grab Mr. Bob Benny. I can grab Mr. Bob Benny. I can go in here and change this document. So if you're very familiar with this, now I can change things around. I can put italics in it. I can put bullet points. Tonight we're going to talk about nukes and overwintering. Or I can go down and start using numbers. So anything that's familiar with this, you can change the lettering on it. You can insert colors, online pictures, shapes, 3D models, all this stuff that you can use all the way through, and just kind of understand that if you're familiar with it, that's great. Each rendition that keeps getting bigger and longer that Windows is building, more options, design formats at the top. You can make it look like a newspaper. I can change the headings in it. I can change the titles, and I can have a lot of the work in the background do this for me. Layout, references, mailing, review, and I can mark this thing up and do anything with it. Great software. A lot of people do newsletters in this, and it's basic and simple. Now, I can't change anything around or change this custom photo. I can change where it goes, but I can't do a lot of things that I can do in Corel. But for the software, this is a really nice newsletter, software for it. And I'm just going to say this is BGBG Club. So I can decorate this, do anything I want to it. I'm going to jump ahead just a minute, and we're going to talk about hyperlinks. If I had this whole entire newspaper all set up, and I said, at the end, I want you to mail, email president at ohiostatebeekeepers.org. And I want you to go to, you can do it by simple www or go to, and you can put any language in there. Go to, please visit, anything you want to put in there. And we're going to link this to the website. So when I hit mail to, this automatically, 99% of the time, it's going to go, no, we have a preset at ohiostatebeekeepers.org. It'll ping it and it'll say, yes, this is a good address. It'll automatically give it the blue line where it's going to mail to. If you hover right above it, it's going to tell you mail to semicolon. Oh, let me do it again here. Mail to semicolon, and then Ohio State Beekeepers. So a way to check that is I'm going to go over here. If it did not do it, or you go somewhere and you type that in and it doesn't automatically hyperlink it, here's your hyperlink. It looks like the globe, and it's got the figure 8, like 2 chain links that are locked together, and that's felonious for all software. When I click the link, it automatically tells me email address, mail to semicolon. That's what anytime you do this or want to mail to somebody, that's the overall language for the internet, to mail to someone. I could have it say Roger Meyer and still put this in the background. So in the display, I can say Jamie Walters. And oh, I'm doing it on the other screen. Sorry. So now it only says email Jamie Walters, but it has the email address in the background. So either way you want to do that, you could have this very complex, but always use your links at the top. And then it's going to mail to, when somebody clicks it, it's automatically going to open. Now, this is a little bit of a trick. Depending on, again, the software, the device, the format, there's places on the OSBA website that people go, I clicked the link, but it doesn't open. And your website's messed up. It's not the website, it's the device or the format. Because in the olden days of computers, when Windows was, these were called hot links. You could click them and it automatically opened it up because you had a default email and there was really no free emails. Early, probably Hotmail at that time. And everybody had a personal email address that was to their device or their PC or their laptop at that point. Now these emails are all free, so now they can go to different places. So when I click it, I can turn on, change the display to President of OSBA. Change that, and you can see how you can change it over and over. When you do websites, it's just about the same way, but I'm going to show you a little bit of an easy step to take care of this. So I want to go down. I want to open up OSBA, and I'm going to say, I want you on this to go to the members page and check out Jamie Walters there, or check out something else. This web address at the top, if you know your destination where you want to send them to, it's as easy as taking it, highlighting the entire thing. On your keyboard, I want you to hold Control C and punch it once. So Control C. Now I want you to go back to your email, click down below and hit Control, hold that down, and V. So there's where I want to send them to. Here's where the email or whatever it is. It could be Kathleen, the president of Sandusky River, but she just wants to put Kathleen and highlight it so that it instantly does that. If you want to send it here, see it now, it didn't, for some reason, it did not see that it had HTTPS, so it's secured at Ohio State Beekeepers. So I'm going to highlight it. I'm going to go up and link it. And I want to leave the whole address on there. So if they don't get it on the other side, they could type it in if they wanted to. So same thing. Here's the address. Here's the address that it's to below. Hit 2. Now it's hyperlinked and ready to go that way. So you can go in here. Anybody can do this. You can turn on, set up any newsletter, and it doesn't have to have all the bells, all the whistles to it, but you're using hyperlinks to shoot people around instead of having tons of attachments to it, or you want to tell them, hey, here's a new option. So I will turn on, I can do that the same way. After I have this the way I do, everybody that's good with this, same thing, save as a PDF, Adobe PDF. Adobe PDF, because I use this in File Runner. So I'm going to do the same thing here. I want it to go to my desktop. I'm going to call this test 2. Hit save. It's going to pop back up and it's going to confirm this as Adobe because it's going to convert it. Now it's going to convert it into PDF Maker. And updating tabs, so it knows there's other tabs in here so it's going to take all that information again, crunch it all the way back down. Some computers, some Adobe things take a little bit longer than others. This is going to take just a minute. Don't know why. And test 2, and it's still updating the tags on it. So now when I double click here, oh, come on. All right, we'll do it this way. One easier way to do this, I'm caught in a glitch. Close the program. Always demonstration purposes, something wants to go wrong. Okay. Testing. Let's go back to the Word document. Test 2. Yep. So now it knows it was recovered. An easier way to do this, if you don't want to do it that way, don't remove it. Bob Benny. Go File, and this is a way to convert everything into a PDF if you want. And it's built into Windows. I want to print, and instead of going to my printer, I'm going to go to Adobe PDF. So in your printer options, everybody has this. You go to Adobe Printing and in a Windows system, hit print. Now it's going to print, and I'm going to go test 2, save, yes. Yes, I know. Test 2, yes. Do I want to replace it? Yes. Okay. Got to call it something else. Test number 3, save. This will turn on and stretch out. Okay. Now, when I go over to here, now there's my PDF of what I made. That's directly out of Word. When I check the link, I can turn on and check the link out here. I have all tools. I can turn on and check this, and I can simplify it, define it. But when I send this, I can click it, and it automatically knows to allow. Do you want to allow that? So it automatically knew right out of that PDF to take me right back to the presidents. Email, since I do not have one tied in and I have all 3, it's going to do the same thing. So here's that PDF out of Word. Another one you can use is Excel. So this is just one of the ones from OSBA, import template, and this is for new beekeeper outreach. If I wanted to convert that into a PDF, I can hit File, Save as PDF, or go to Print. Instead of the printer, I'm going to go to Adobe PDF and Print. I want to save this again to the desktop. I'm just going to call this test number 5 and save. It'll turn on, switch that. And now what it's done in my Adobe, it's taken test number 5, and because it was cut off all the way over, it saved it as a PDF, but because it didn't fit on that document, it made it into a longer document. So if it doesn't fit, it'll stretch it out, or you can tell it fit on, snap on an 8.5 by 11, or snap onto a legal 18 or 8.5 by 14. So you can change things around. Or when I've done this, let's go back to this here. I can go back and hit print. Instead of doing it in vertical, I could actually run this. Let's go legal, and instead of horizontal, instead of portrait, I can go landscape. So now I can fit all that information in there if I need to. Again, switching it from my printer to Adobe, hit print. Now I'm going to go in and we're going to call this test number 8, save. This automatically jumps it over. And now you can see as this is unloading, it fit all my information on that one sheet. And then there's a little bit of a remainder on the other side. So I could shrink that down if I needed to, or on my Excel document, once you do it, it shows you the line where those 2 pages are going to separate. So if I needed to, I could shrink that up and change things around. But in Excel, I do know people that use Excel to make documents. You can make the cell. I can come over here and do insert. Let's just do one cell. page, margins, size. I can break things up. She's got this locked. So if I do a new, and I take a tour, let's put the new one on here. I can actually take that cell and insert a picture. So now I'm going to take one of Ray Wirt. And I know people that use Excel to make this. So here's my document. I can go in here and merge, and I can say daily newsletter. Go down to file, print. I can see what that's going to look like here. Change it to Adobe, print it. Test number 9. Save. And then flip it right over. So in Excel, if you had a lot of information that was vertical, or you were doing a lot of columns, and there it gives you the felonious line. So I know this is an 8.5 by 11 in vertical. I could change Ray up a little bit. And then I could go in here and put in anything I wanted to. If it was a lot of information of maybe some directions or a recipe or some step-by-step, if you were going to do like a recipe card or anything like that, really. So another easy way to create a PDF. Any questions on this? So creating a PDF, hyperlinks, and a hyperlink in this is the same exact way. So I can do, I'm just going to do Roger, communication dash officer at Ohio State Beekeepers.org. Take this column, stretch it out a little bit, or I can mail merge it. Now that I have Roger in here, or this email, or a website, I can go in here, and I think it's under data. There we go. So you click the cell, link, communication officer. I want to leave it. I could put Roger's name in it. And in this, because I want it to be the same, I'll just go down to the address, mail to, and notice it automatically puts the hyperlink right in it. So I can do that to a website. I can say, hey, here's the website for the recipe or the directions on how to render wax. And here's the email address, here's the www address, and do the same things. Anything goes on that type thing. So now I have my PDFs and my hyperlinks or my directions. Now when I go to different things, let's close a few of these out. Now when I go to Facebook, and I'm just going to put it on my own regular site, I can go into my website on my Facebook, and I'm just going to say the information. Now I have my artwork. I can say, please visit. And if I know the address I want to send them to, I'm going to send them to this address. And let's just go information. We're going to take them to the About OSBA. And we're going to take them down to this hyperlink down below. So as I have the address, I click once, I highlight it, Control C. Now I go back to my Facebook page. Please visit, Control V, for more information. Information on learning this stuff. So in this, I can create, there's my link. I can send them to it. I'm going to help advertise this. I can go down and add another video or picture with it. I can tag people. So tagging, you can turn around and tag other club members, people that you know what's going on. You're going to check in, or I can create this and make this an event. I can raise money from it. I can do other stuff. I can post it. and here's my post. And as soon as they click the link, it's going to take them directly to where I want them to go. So you'll see that the same way when you register tonight. All those links and hyperlinks I can send people to back and forth. Same way with email. Here's my own personal email address. So today I want to send it to, I'll send it to my wife. So learn something new at Dear Delilah. And now in any email, and I'm not going to go through all the email because everybody's done this over and over. You can turn on drop pictures in here. You can drop hyperlinks. Same way with everything with hyperlinks, the same way. I can click them to this, refresh it, shrink that down. Let's go to another page. Videos. Roger's been working on this. Click it once, highlight the address, Control C, go into email, Control V, and in email, depending on the address, now this one didn't highlight, I click the highlight, I go down to the bars below, and you'll see that hyperlink right here. So I hyperlink it, now it's going. So if you have all your club members in a group, you could actually group them all up by going to your people. Well, let's minimize this. You can go to your contacts and create a group of all these people that you want in. So if they're all club members, you can turn on and merge all those people and turn on, put them all into a group and create a group that you email to one address and it goes out to everybody else on the other side. So it's an easy way to do that. All I have to do for like BSBA is do BSBA. It pops up BSBA and it goes to 98 people in one shot. Any questions on this? So Mr. Joseph, Kathleen, Kathy, Laura, excuse me. Any questions?
No, I don't have any questions.
I'm good so far.
I don't have Adobe on my laptop. Is there a way to convert to PDF without using Adobe?
Okay. The Adobe has the rights to all PDFs, but you can convert it out of anything else. So if you have the Gmail suite, I can make that same document by coming down here to document, or let's just go docs. Doc is the same thing as Word. So now I'm creating it within Google. I didn't have to buy any software, do anything. They give you templates, or you can start from brand new, or go to gallery. And now they have a gallery of resumes, this, that, business newsletter, informal. Some of them already have it set up, or you can just change the pictures, a pet resume, which sounds weird. So you could change things around. And when you template out of this, and let's just go into one real quick. We're just going to go into this new project. It'll automatically launch. It already has the color scheme to it. When I file this, I can actually make a copy of, share to, so it's automatically going to email to the other person. I can download it. And if you notice your downloads, Google Drive is in the cloud, so it's cloud-based, but I can pull it down as anything else. So if I want to take this and put it down and make it into a Word document, even though it was made in Word, I can switch it over and to make it into a PDF document. Or plain text, which is going to be tons and tons of gibberish. Or like in Kathleen's, we were talking earlier about the web page. Now you can start making web page designs out of this and make your basic background. So if you don't want just a plain white, you can turn around and start making things and putting bee pictures in the background. So same way here, PDF document. It's going to tell you, because it's in the cloud, where do I want to save this? Project proposal number 1. I'm going to save it. It's going to show you here it's saved. I'm going to double click on it. And then it takes it into Adobe. And then here's that same template. So Adobe, when they say Adobe PDF, Adobe's the first one to come out with it. And then at the very beginning, they used to have PDF version 5 and version this, and then Viewer and Pro. There was tons and tons of things with it. And what the internet came to at one time is almost a bottleneck, that I would send a Word document to Roger, and if Roger's device didn't see it, it would scramble it up. So then they come out with DOC, and then they came out with DOCX, and they came out with different things. And everybody kind of got tired of, I'm sending a document to another company, or I'm sending it for a project, and it's messing things up. Adobe came out with that PDF viewer at that time. So everything was crunched down, saved as not specifically that font style, but at least the outline of it, the font, everything on all the information, condensed and then blown back up. So if I open this on a laptop, it's going to look the exact same. If I go to any of these devices, PDF is just about the top of the line viewer to be able to see all these different things. So just like we had here, even though it was simple and basic, that could be a nice information thing if you're setting something up. You could turn around and put a backlight or a backdrop on that. Testing 1, I just did it, and that's what a PDF, and that's just maybe 2 hours a time. But I'm familiar with the software. So if you're familiar with Word, Excel, or anything like that, you can do these just as easy and change things around, send them to yourself or move them around. And just like Excel, I made one with Ray, and I could put in here just the basic steps of opening up a nuke. I have pictures with it. I have everything. I could print it, send it, and then it would just have everything right here. And I didn't have to go out and buy more software. No different than with this. And that's the free version. The other free version, if you want to have all those different things, and let me open this up here and switch back. We talked about it at the last meeting. It's called Open Office. So if you don't have Google and you want something comparable to the Word, Excel, and things like that, Apache Open Office is the top link. It's called Open Office. It's a free version. Does the same thing. I use it at H&R Block because I don't want to pay for every computer to have it. Let's go to my Open Office. Open Office, I have version 417. Now, they call it a little bit different. They call the Excel Base, Calc, Draw, Impress is PowerPoint, Math, and then Writer. So they have a couple different things that are just a little bit different. So let's go to Writer. And you'll see things that are a little bit different. Now, this is a free version. It's made by the internet people themselves. It's made by people that, want to have something for free. It competes directly with Word and Excel. So as I'm putting this in here, it's the same thing. Newsletter. Now, you'll notice at the top, there's not tons and tons and tons of things up here. There's not 50 different things you can do and manipulate. It's a kind of a broke down, simple. I can go over here and highlight it. I can take my font style, and the font styles are the ones that are in your computer. So if you only have 10, you only have 10. Most computers have way more than that. But this is a real simple version that I could create a newsletter. I can go up here and insert. You notice all those other options are just about pretty simple in this one. I can get it from a file. I'm going to take pictures here. And this time, let's grab Richard. And, well, let's just leave it the full size, right where it was. That's a nice heading for it. But remember, Word and Excel It's single layer, so it's like putting puzzle pieces together. I can't take the word newsletter and put it on top of this picture. But I can put in newsletter, 1, 2, 3, put in different directions, put in different cuttings. And the nice thing is that I like about this is I'm going to go over here and open up. Oh, let's open this up. Fall conference information. I can take another document, any other document, and I can turn on and take it and highlight it and go, okay, I like this article. Now let's just take it off of this. I'm going to go Control C. Let's go back to Open Office. Go down below and V. And now I can convert things or go to the internet. And let's just go to the internet real quick and look up propolis. Oh, here's a nice little thing I'd like to add into the beginning of this. Can highlight it all, put your arrow on it, Control C. I'm going to go back and Control V. Now, depending on the language on the internet, sometimes you'll see it like this. It just kind of messed things up. Highlight the whole thing again, and then go back here and say, this is the font I want it in. This is this, that, and then I want the color of black. And then you'll have to take this out as a hyperlink, as a background hyperlink, and you can highlight it, no fill. Let's go, no fill on this one. And I want it to be, so you can just click it back and forth. Now I can take things easily and steal things off the internet, take wording. Somebody said something, please don't plagiarize, and I'll say it for this side, please don't plagiarize somebody's 3.5-page document without giving them credit. But now I can turn around and put this all in, make a nice little basic, so when people go, especially any officer that wants to step up, I don't want to do the newsletter because I don't have all the frills and all the software and all the devices. Easy way to turn around and do this. Again, this one has a PDF exporter right on it. I can export it or export it. Let's do this. Test 22. Go to my desktop. Save. It converts it. Open it up. And there in PDF, changed everything exactly the way I had it. And it might not have had that font, but it's going to take you page for page and flip you over. All right. I'm going to open it up to anybody else. So on the PDFs, if you have PDF Pro and there's other plugins for this, I can create a membership application. I can take clip art off other things and put it on a page and create it to make PDF to send it out. I've sent this out to club members before. It's an easy way to know all the Amatraz, Apigard, Apivar Life, and how to do Varroa treatments. I've made little PDFs, and if anybody knows, that's my little logo for my honey business with my granddaughter. And I just took this off a coloring book. And then I just made artwork and made my wife and made myself and added in my own stuff. And that's just basic stuff. And then all the little things that we did in between here, you can make this complex or as easy as you want to be able to do this. So anybody can make it. Anybody can do it. And if a newsletter or an invite and that was like, well, you know, you just didn't like it was plain Jane, take some light colored paper, like some light yellow, baby blue and things like that. Remember, it might change your photos a little bit, but you can put it out there that on a bulletin board, or if you're doing advertisement, it's not the same plain white letter with a bunch of writing. It's baby blue, or it's yellow, or it's something else. And add things around it. If you put something, and I just say this because I did advertising and I had a sign shop for so many years. If you put tons and tons of wording in here, People will overlook it. It's an overwhelming. So your big caption letters should always be newsletter, the kind of the headers, if you have free tickets or discounted tickets or prizes and things like that, blow those kind of wording up and then put the details down below, 1 ticket per person, or, whatever you're going to have, or 1 ticket, or the price of ticket per person, just so you have it in there, but their eyes draw into photos first, big captioning letters second, and then if they're interested, then they'll sit and read the details. And then the number 4 I had on my other sheet before it got destroyed was just talking about the links, the hyperlinks. So mail to is MAIL 2, semicolon, then the address. In Word, Excel, any of them, you can change the heading or who that goes to, so they don't have to know the address, so you don't pick up the other junk mail with it. And hyperlinks. If you know it and you want to type it out, great. If you want to come down to the internet and I wanted to run and have, let's just say, MD World or MD or WebMD, there's a good article. Highlight it, Control C, and then Control V back it into your social media, back into your document here. Highlight your document. Insert, I've never used this one, so view, edit, format, tools. In here somewhere they have the, hyperlink right here. I apologize. So highlight your hyperlink. It's right here. Insert link. Same thing. Easy and simple. And I say that because I do it all day long. All right. Hopefully
Thank you,
everybody,
Jamie.
you're welcome. We're going to turn on and have Graphics 2 next Saturday. And then after that, we're having PowerPoint 1, PowerPoint 2. I've had tons of people ask me, I'd like to speak, but I don't know how to make PowerPoint. So the first class is going to be the basics of how to start up a PowerPoint, where to get the paid versions, the free versions. And then the part 2 is going to be a deep dive in creating a PowerPoint and being able to present in front of people and go through that and create a little bit of animation with it, be able to bring in your photos, either JPEG, PNG, and TIFF. So you're going to turn around and that lineup will get a little bit longer that you guys seen on an email. And then those links will be added in with everything else. All right, everybody. Thank you for coming. Greatly appreciate your time, and hopefully you learned at least
Thank you.
one thing.
Thanks, Jamie.